okay to do nice things for them. Because I'm hearing a lot of people like, don't buy that man nothing. Make him get you everything.
There's so much good men out there.
Men go out there and they fight the world. The last thing they want to do is come home and fight their girl.
Why do you get so mad by that? Why does that trigger you? Like, let's just reflect for a second.
To the girl who's in a marriage right now, questioning how to get her husband to fall more in love with him, care for him.
But women aren't living traditional lives, and yet no one's talking about rubbing their back or making them sandwiches.
Welcome back to More to Life. Before I get into this video, like, comment, subscribe. Also, smash that notification bell just to be sure you get on my videos as soon as I release them. Let's get into this.
Ladies, I'm just here to tell you it's okay to buy your man nice things. Don't let another female tell you it's not, and don't let another female try to convince you otherwise. If that's what you like to do, then that's what you like to do. Because guess what? Just like how you like to get nice things from your man, they like nice things from their woman as well. It's okay to do nice things for them. Because I'm hearing a lot of people like, don't buy that man nothing. Make him get you everything. Make him do everything. You can spoil your man. It's okay. That's perfectly fine if that's what you choose to do.
That sure is fine.
It is crucial and critical that we let our men know how much we appreciate them, especially when they do something nice. Because when they're bad or when they do something wrong, we curse them out and we say all manner of evil about them. So why can't we do the same thing when they're good? Treat them good. Surprise them sometimes with something nice. Say good things to them, nice things to them to encourage them. There's so much good men out there. But sometimes we make it bad for ourselves by not encouraging them, by not saying nice things to them. It's hard enough when they have to try so hard with the little that they have to make us happy as women. So let's start encouraging our men by treating them nice, saying nice words, being kind to them, and just making them feel special.
Yeah, being kind, good words, they go a long way. If you expect a man to treat you like a queen, you gotta start out by treating him like a king, right? Plus, a lot of times, a man will treat a woman like that and get all kinds of dirt thrown on him. Seriously, it's bad out there. Guys are told, and feminists do it the most. They'll tell a girl, "Don't do that to me," because you'll be good to him, and then he'll use you. Men just want to use you for free labor. A bunch of nonsense, a crock of nonsense, hot garbage, and it's shouted to the mountaintops. It's so bad nowadays. The divorce rate is in the gutter, and it's only going to get worse. And the wild thing is everything that's happening now is by design. Like, seriously, if you guys want to know what happened, right? Everything that's in society now was projected to be in society. And guys, I don't want to tell you, but I gotta tell you, it was done actually by the enemy himself, by Satanists.
But treat that man the way he need to be treated before you lose him. Like, men go out there and they fight the world. The last thing they want to do is come home and fight their girl. Trust me, it's so simple. Like, he don't ask for much, but to just come home to a hot meal, his shower ran, clothes ready for tomorrow, and just love on that man. I promise you, it's so simple.
So simple. It truly is.
It triggers feminists when you say, like, I want to make my man a sandwich, or I want to serve him, or I want to be submissive. Why do you get so mad by that? Why does that trigger you? Like, let's just reflect for a second. When you find a good man, you love doing those things for him. I don't know about you, but I love to make my husband food. He wants a sandwich, I will go gladly make him a sandwich. He wants me to pack his lunch. No problem. That's not an issue for me. Like, why does that get you so mad when you hear other women saying they want to serve their husband or their household? Why do you guys get so triggered?
See, a lot of times they get triggered because they choose not to have a man. And actually by choice. Now, how do you choose not to have a man? By having an attitude. The same attitude they give you, it's the same attitude men notice. And men will not get with a sour woman. It speaks against that. You know, getting with a sour woman is like sleeping with the enemy. There's Bible verses about it. It's wild. And guys have fully awakened. And to be fully awakened is to be free. Actually, to be fully awakened, a lot of times it's not about, hey, I want to have every woman come to me and do what I want. Like, right? Like some guys, oh, I'm alpha. I'm big alpha. No, it's not about that. It's about love. I believe in love. So I believe in finding a woman that's for you. And that's what guys are trying to do.
He ain't lying.
The more you do for him, the more he loves himself. The more you do for yourself, the more he loves you.
I actually don't agree with this at all. I hear her heart and everything that she's saying, and I do agree that we do need to take care of ourselves. We cannot pour from an empty cup. But this self-love approach is what the world teaches and not what the Bible says. Let me just say, as a woman who has been divorced, spent most of her 20s in and out of abusive relationships, and then finally found her man of God. God's way to finding love, his way, is the only way. The days that I'm selfish and self-absorbed and wrapped up in my own crazy schedule and the craziness of life, my husband feels the repercussions of that. But the days that I lay down my life, as we're called to do as Christians and as Christian wives, and put my husband before myself and God before my husband, those are the most beautiful days. But our flesh doesn't want to do that. Why? Because our flesh is naturally selfish. And marriage was not created to be about you or meeting your needs, but rather the complete opposite. Marriage is about sanctification. Marriage is about dying to your flesh on a daily basis to look more like Christ. But the world won't tell you that. I'm not saying you can't take care of yourself. You absolutely can. There's nothing wrong with getting ready and feeling pretty or getting your nails or your hair done. For the girl who's in a marriage right now questioning how to get her husband to fall more in love with him, care for him. Put him before yourself. It isn't what the world will tell you to do, but it is biblical, and I promise you it will be reciprocated.
It could all be so simple. It's wild. Like, I think of that song. Lauryn Hill said that. It could all, that's what she said, right? It could all be so simple. So true.
I can't even post a silly little video talking about how much I love my husband and how hardworking he is, and I just feel so blessed to be able to be a stay-at-home mom. And I still get a comment saying that being a stay-at-home mom, our work is really important and we're not inferior and you shouldn't feel lucky because your husband would have to work anyways. That's not the point at all. I believe that I am a sinful person and that everything that's good in my life is worthy of praise, and I should be thanking the Lord for every good thing that's in my life, and that includes a hardworking husband. So yes, my husband would still have to work even if I wasn't around, even if we weren't married and he wasn't a dad. But would he have a reason to work really hard? I will continue to talk wonderfully about my husband on social media because I think we desperately need to see more happy, healthy marriages where the wives and husbands build each other up and talk positively about each other instead of negatively, because that is the overwhelming majority of what social media is. Of course, being a stay-at-home mom is incredibly difficult. It is an absolute blessing. It is a challenge. It is the most rewarding work a woman can do. But that doesn't mean that I shouldn't be grateful to my very core to have an amazing husband who supports me in this endeavor. It's what's best for all of us.
Nicer to men on the internet because nobody wants to date the girl who's mean to men on the internet, and I was like, who's gonna tell
Mm-mm-mm.
Why I didn't have a backup plan. Why my kids' eating was dependent on a romantic relationship. This is exactly why my boyfriend gives me a $20,000 monthly allowance as a girlfriend.
Whoa.
I need to secure a stay-at-home salary as a girlfriend from the very first date.
But that's a little much. A $20,000 monthly allowance? What is your man doing? What is he involved in?
Oh, it's Mr. MVP! Simp!
He must make money on the internet or some sort of way, because $20,000 is a lot of money.
It's scary out there. You have the power to make me homeless at any moment. So for my safety, security, peace of mind, and happiness, I need an allowance. If you cannot do that for me, I need to keep my career until you can. What I said to my boyfriend was, no matter how much I love and trust you, babe, most relationships end. I need to look after myself first in the case of that happening. Minimum $2,000 a month, ladies. Okay?
Oh,
Delusional.
I don't
okay.
subscribe to the idea that men are trash
2,000.
and you shouldn't trust your husband. And I also don't believe that a man has to be rich to be a provider. However, if he cannot provide at least $2,000 a month of allowance for you, you are vulnerable. Even if he is the most perfect man on the planet and treats you amazing, what if he dies? Then what happens? All I'm saying is I love the idea of marrying somebody who is a provider and being a homemaker, but be smart.
Well, I agree with her somewhat. If a woman is going to stay at home, a man does need to make a certain amount, but he has to find that one. She has to be that one. Like one of the ladies that was speaking before, the Christian woman. You get a woman that's like that, that's really about God and that believes in that. Ooh, I'm talking about to the core that you see it, you see it in their face. The two women that was speaking about Christ, it was in their face, it was in their feeling that even her, she seems okay too, right? But that's the kind of woman you want if you stand back behind and you're not going overseas to find them. But that's what I did. I went overseas, found mine, and I'm happy. Let me pause this. An advice I have for the last lady is go back to your husband. Really. Go back to your husband.
Ah, yes. That wonderful little narrative. And for further context, let's take a look at the full description, because it is rather relevant, of that video. Now, there are actually quite a lot of individuals out there, both men and women, that truly believe that men can never experience sexism due to the fact that men have never been, and in their opinions, never can be, oppressed, because they believe that someone has to be in a position to be oppressed to experience sexism. How much sense does that really make? Because let's take a look at the definition of sexism right out of the dictionary. Now, is there anyone out there truly...
Let me look at that. It says prejudice or discrimination based on behavior, conditions, or attitudes that foster stereotypes or social roles based on. Yeah, men go through it the most, actually.
out there, truly, that thinks that men can't experience prejudice or discrimination by virtue of the fact that they happen to be born male? What does that say about anyone that thinks that way? I really wonder.
When men go through that, right, men can't complain. What happens? A woman does something like that to a man. Oh, dog. It's seen as like, oh, that's a good thing. Woman grabbed your joint while you was outside. That's good. That may not be comfortable for most guys. It won't be comfortable for me. I'm a married man. Imagine I'm walking with my wife down the block. Somebody just grabs my joint. She gonna be looking like, what's going on? She gonna think that that lady has a mental problem, but it's not right. That scene is okay for ladies to do. It's not right. If a man did that, throw away the key. Lock him up, throw away the key. He doesn't get out for at least 5 years, right? Especially for groping or something like that. Yeah, he may get 5 years, maybe 2. Maybe 2 if he pleads guilty. That's how it was ruled out, but it's sad. And that's a problem, right? The way the system is flawed.
Would you date a girl with kids right now?
Man, listen up. I would never take a woman with kids even serious.
Exactly.
Let alone like my woman. I wouldn't take her on a date. Only thing I would take her to the crib. Now, especially you got 2 or 3, that mean that good now.
Yeah.
You got a different type of incubator in there.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be some good, but that's it, baby. You know what's going on. Especially like me.
Yeah.
Like, baby, it's already out there. So I can't take you serious, but I could take you to the room and get serious in that.
And she got 2, 3 kids and she trying to settle down and it's over with.
It's over with. She stopped embarrassing herself.
Yeah.
Look at me, look at my caliber of life, look at my statistical categories in all of them. Check them all out.
And you think we finna be at Chuck E. Cheese?
You think I'm finna be at Chuck E. Cheese with you? You think I'm finna be goddamn teaching little JoJo how to jab fake left and go right?
So you say you think I'm finna be stabbed in?
Right, I can't do that. Unless she bad, I will finagle her. Chuck E. Cheese 2 or 3 times.
But what you for though?
No, what I'm saying, after I that, then it's the already that over with.
Ladies, they definitely need to be, if they don't got kids, they definitely need to be careful about having kids. What blows me about girls, it'd be a bad female. Yeah. Be like, oh, I got a kid. 5 points.
Guys, what do you mean by depend on a man? Why is it that modern feminism tells you that if you become a stay-at-home mom and a stay-at-home wife, you are depending on a man? In what aspects? Because I want you to be very specific with this. I'm assuming you're referring to financial dependence. Have you ever thought that marriage maybe is mutual dependence?
Finally, somebody gets
This is where our modern day culture and BS Hollywood and rap songs have lied to you, because they have taught women that men are the enemy and that they actually don't need us, that they just use us, and that when you're a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home wife like me, I use my husband for financial dependence. They also deflect the blame onto men and teach us that men don't ever want to settle down and they're incapable of committed relationships, when in reality statistics show that they actually crave committed relationships more than women do nowadays. And then we shift blame onto the entirety of the male gender by saying that they are incapable of settling down, even though we've never considered maybe they just don't want to settle down with our standard of woman. And you say that I depend on this man and no woman should depend on their man, when you are not looking at how much they actually depend on us. I mean, a real high value woman, what that can do for a man, what that can do for his emotional stability, his mental stability, his financial strength, his career, his growth, his spiritual well-being, and his physical health. There's a reason in the Bible when God made man, he looked at it and it was the only creation. He said, this is not yet good. He made the birds of the sky. He said, this is good. He made the beasts of the land. This is good. He made the fish of the sea. He said, this is good. He made man and he said, this is not yet good. And so then he made woman. And I'm not saying that we are more integral in a relationship than a man is to us, because I would definitely say that's not true, especially in my marriage. I need my husband. I am one of those women that says, I need a man, and I have no shame admitting it. But we were meant to be one, and we were meant for each other, and we complete each other like the yin and the yang, and that's why there is the feminine and the masculine energy, and why we are supposed to work cohesively together, and why our culture has done nothing but try to tear us apart. If you do not think men, real men, depend on real women in real marriages, you are nuts. I'm not talking about financial shit, because there's more to this than finances. It's funny that the modern feminists are always the ones talking about financial dependence. Statistically, men are more likely to die, 40% more within the first 6 months of losing their wife, their partner, their love of their life. So within 6 months are more likely to die than a woman is if she loses her husband and is widowed. They actually call this the widowhood effect.
You know what's funny? Because in the Bible it says for man to love your husband. It says nothing about a woman loving him, but it does say something about her serving him. Let me let her cook.
Kind of like the last scene of The Notebook. Kind of like my grandfather, who passed away less than 4 months after my grandmother did. Studies have found that widowed men have 30 to 40% higher risk of death within the first 6 months to a year after their spouse died. I've worked in the financial industry for 13 years, and it is a known fact that men have a higher mortality rate than women. They die sooner. And maybe that's why. Maybe that's why God and nature intended it to be this way. Because if a woman dies first, then the husband follows quite quickly after. And then family and children lose both parents, just like I did my grandparents. But do not tell me there's not an impact. Don't tell me there's no dependence emotionally, physically, spiritually, socially, the social impact that women have on the lives of men, their social circles and their village. So every time you sit here and you're like, I am not going to have any dependence on a man, I ain't going to depend on no man, you're actually really degrading your own self-worth and the impact that you could have on a good man if you were to be a high-value, good woman. That's my TED Talk.
Man, that was so heartwarming. Whoa.
Women's movement.
Yeah.
It didn't account for becoming a mother. Gloria Steinem, God bless her. I don't hate these people. I'm just saying Gloria never had babies. So how the do we do what the men are doing and be a good mother.
Yeah.
It's so hard to do both at the same time.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible.
Well, it's almost like those traditional gender roles exist for a reason.
You mean like thousands of years of evolution?
They've naturally
biology?
happened this way.
Yeah.
And just because the modern world took its turn and evolved to what it is,
it
really doesn't negate what thousands of years kind of dictated.
Yeah.
And then you find that like a lot of women, it's the problem isn't the choice to be like, I want to be, it's the looking down on it.
That's
the
criticism, the pretentiousness.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of,
and it is probably stronger in a city like New York, where they're like, oh, you can't do both. Like it's like.
But I also feel like there's a little bit of self-hatred there.
Yeah.
It's like I think some women are kind of envious of the fact that these other women have children and families and this other purpose and this thing to live for.
Yeah.
And they've dedicated their entire life to working at this job that they might not even like.
Right.
But they got that VP title.
Yeah.
But now they're 45 with the VP title, and all their friends have these beautiful families. They can't go out to dinner every Tuesday.
Right.
They're busy. Yeah. Maybe they feel kind of like lied to or manipulated.
I am a feminist, but I do not support a woman disrespecting her husband.
Yeah.
Do what is right. Do you get what I mean? But I believe that women, we are not lesser, you understand? We're not the weaker sex, you understand? Weaker vessels. Men are supposed to treat us specially. Men are supposed to respect their women. Women should respect their men. You understand? You shouldn't feel because she's the woman, she belongs to the kitchen, or you maltreat her, talk to her anyhow. No. We are strong, we are bold, we can do things well. Okay, and our economic power is very important to us.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why we protect it, and we make sure we have that economic power. So we can decide. We can, we can support our husband.
That's just it.
Can you shut up?
the guy screaming in the back. That was funny.
That rub backs and pack lunches for hardworking men.
Maybe she's working her own job to contribute to the household. Or maybe she's cooking the dinner that you don't have to clean up after. There's all this talk about traditional women, but women aren't living traditional lives. They're working jobs the same as you, and yet no one's talking about rubbing their back or making them sandwiches. Think about it. Women took on more responsibility outside of the home, but never had the opportunity to give up any of their responsibilities inside of it. And it amazes me because you always thought that your job was a good enough excuse for why you couldn't participate at home, but now you don't think her job is a good enough excuse for her to do less. So you want her to do everything in the house with less time at home, and you want to make it sound like you're not being cared for because you're not given servitude. Servitude is not partnership. And if you want bag lunches and back rubs, then I suggest you stay with your mother and stop complaining about your wife.
No, that's what you want, and you want a relationship. I'll pretend to be that guy for like a couple weeks.
You'll all continue to sit here and tell women to pick better men when these guys are openly admitting to intentionally deceiving women. He's admitting to pretending to be everything that woman wanted, and you'd still rather blame the person that believed the lie instead of the person that told it. And this is worse than just a misrepresentation of intentions because he's making her believe that that's the man he's capable of being. So she's going to waste her time waiting for that version of him to return. Not because she's stupid and not because she's trying to change him, but because that's who he told her he was. We have people out here breaking hearts just to get in people's pants, but you don't want to have that conversation. So you can say pick better men, but I say show us who you are the first time so we know who the hell we're picking.
Same thing. Blame on all men, what a small select few do. But this is never going to work until, and it's true, who's gotten further away from their duty? Meaning, see, first thing you think, oh, woman or man's duty is this to provide that, blah, 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 whatever, right? So many with this fight of who's right and who's wrong. But for the most part, there are a lot of dirtbags out there. There are a lot of guys that make a lot of money and they say things on podcasts that are wrong. The fact of the matter is, all of you are dating him, and that's the problem. Nobody's giving a chance to the guy that's actually the nice guy, the guy that's a blue-collar worker, that's breaking his back, the guy that's most likely a provider, but he's a nice guy. He's not given a chance. And I think more ladies need to step back and say, oh, wait a minute. This guy over here, I was trying to chase Tyrone around for the past 2 years, but I got Roderick over here. Yes, plain old Roderick over here. Let me give him a shot. He's a decent looking guy. He may not have the attitude or act like he doesn't care or act like he cares too much. Give that guy a shot. But yeah, guys, things got to go back to the way they were. That's what the guy was trying to say. She took it as an opportunity to argue. But yeah, guys, thank y'all for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Peace out. See you next video.